Hi, this question is for Wendy. A couple weeks ago, I had the chance to catch up with the meteorologist in charge from the National Weather Service's Key West office, talk about what Hurricane Irma was like there. And he explained how they were just a team of scientists. They were always working on forecast reports and maps. But as Hurricane Irma approached, they knew their words in the reports and lines they drew on their maps had real-life impacts. And their work went from everyday weather stuff to major natural disaster work. And he described how they had a stronger emotional connection to what they were doing, knowing that homes and lives could be lost. And then they had to deal with the disaster themselves. He said afterwards, counselors were actually brought in to help the scientists cope with that disaster and recover mentally from some signs of PTSD. So with that said, how are you doing? How is your team? Is anyone personally impacted by the eruption? And is there any counseling or help going on? And is there anything the public can do to help that?
This is Wendy Stovall. That is an amazingly thoughtful question. I really appreciate you asking that. I can only speak from my own personal experience, and I am not in Hawaii anymore. I actually came back just a few days ago, and I certainly was in shock for at least a day, or what felt like shock. I kind of was unable to process what I went through, and I think that it will be something that sticks with me for a long time. Exactly right. Going from the science of every day, talking about volcanic processes and then actually seeing them impact people and their lives in such a devastating way is it's overwhelming, to say the least. And, as scientists, we often get blamed for not having any emotion, but I can tell you that we do. And all of this, everything that I see, since I've been back, it's really touched me personally because of some of the conversations that I had with the community at the PAHOA meetings that happened on Tuesday night. So that's my perspective. As far as other people in the observatory, yes, it's definitely impacted them personally. There are people who grew up in Lower Puna that work for the Hawaiian Volcano Observatory. So they're really seeing it impact their families and their lives. As it stands, there is no definitive, counseling coming in that I know of for sure. But we all, as employees of the federal government, have access to free counseling in dealing with these types of events. So, I'm sure that it's something that people will be seeking as they need and maybe be encouraged to seek by their supervisors. I'm not sure. I am taking care of myself though, and I do know that I have to process what's going on. Thanks for asking.
With the hurricane, they knew things were going to end. In your case, you really have no idea. Is that troubling?
Yeah, it's a little bit troubling. It's troubling because we want to be able to forecast things, and we, we're kind of in this state where we just aren't. We don't have any. There's no certainty in our forecasts, and it certainly is troubling to. That's part of the process of coping with this and living with, a disaster in process. Is we have to take care of ourselves, and we have to try to take care of each other, and we have to take time off, which is something that we're all really bad at because we're so vested in the response effort.
This is Leslie Gordon. I can add something that there are actually laws and regulations about people working tremendously long hours without time taking off. And so there has been intervention from our safety and human resources folks. The folks at HVO have been working 24/7 on shifts for several weeks, and we are keeping track of that, and people are being rotated in and out. There are dozens of other volcano scientists from the mainland who are rotating in and out of HVO to alleviate some of that. So I think we're trying to take good care of our employees. Wendy mentioned that counseling is available to all employees at any time.
Thank you so much.